Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing the most anticipated comics from the Marvel Solicits. So of course this is the video where I discuss the big books of the month and also the books I am most looking forward to. So let's get started. Number one is X-Men issue 1. So obviously this is a huge book. It's X-Men being renumbered with a new writer. Jonathan Hickman's writing a mysterious book. Can it finally be that Mora book? I hope so. But also now we have Jerry Dugan, who is I guess still writing Marauders and also writing X-Men issue 1. And what's interesting about this is that it's kind of taking its place outside of Krakoa. It's going back to the superhero aspect of the team and has a really interesting roster. We have Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Laura Kinney, Polaris, which people actually voted for. Rogue is on the team. So I think there's a lot of fan favorites here. And also, again, kind of going back to basics away from the Krakoa stuff, which I'm sure Jonathan Hickman and co are going to be handling. So if you missed the old X-Men, I have a feeling you're going to get a flavor of that here. And I really like Jerry Dugan's writing, so I'm really looking forward to that one. Next up is Extreme Carnage Alpha. So this is the newest Carnage / Venom event. And, you know, we've been getting a lot of these Venom events for a while now. Honestly, a couple of years, every few months we get a big Venom or Carnage event, and now it's Carnage's turn after King in Black. The reason I reference this one is because of the return of Flash Thompson. I think that might be the only thing that pulls me to want to read this. I normally don't love Venom events. I'm not reading Venom currently, but I do love Flash Thompson, so I'm curious to see what that will bring. So I think I might try out the first issue here just because of Flash. Moving on to another Spider-Man title, which is called Symbiote SpiderMan Crossroads, and this is written by Peter Davids, continuing the saga of the Symbiote Spider-Man book. I have not been reading Symbiote Spider-Man. I don't think I'm going to be picking this up, but I do find it fascinating to see Peter David continue this run for so long, and then really tapping into the classic Marvel stories with Hulk vs. Spider-Man here. So that's kind of interesting, but again, I haven't been into the other Symbiote titles, so I don't know if you need to read the other ones or not, if it'll be new reader friendly, and also I'm not a huge fan of Greg Land's artwork, so I'm not sure I'm going to pick that one up. I just thought it was an interesting tidbit that was on the solicit. Moving on to the topic of this video, which is Immortal Hulk issue 48. So we're leading to the end of Immortal Hulk, which is issue 50. So we have, at this point, after the solicit, 2 months after that, the book will be ending. And I really like the concept of this issue. It's Betty verse, or at least a conversation between Hulk, between Bruce, and this has definitely been building up. One of my favorite aspects of Immortal Hulk is what they've done with Betty, and honestly the whole Hulk family. And I do feel like Immortal Hulk, out of all the 50 issues, has kind of lost its touch a little bit towards the end here. So it looks like with the Solicits, though, it's going back to basics and really dealing with the relationships, which is what I enjoyed, and obviously giving us some horrific visuals as well, which I'm also excited to see what they're going to end up doing with Hulk. And, you know, the big question is what's going to happen after Hulk? Will we just go back to the Incredible Hulk? Will there be ramifications of Immortal Hulk? There's a lot of big runs that change characters that are ending. We had Venom, obviously, with Donny Cates, which really changed Eddie Brock, and now Immortal Hulk, which really put Hulk back on the map. So do we continue to do this more monster movie mashup with a Hulk, or are they going to do something completely different? So I think that's what I'm really curious about as we build up to this finale, is where does Hulk stand after this monumental run that really changed the character and gave some new breath to the character. So yeah, interested to see where that's going to go and how that's going to end. Moving on to Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 28. This was a really cool cover. I'm not currently reading Miles Morales, but I am going to pick up the Clone Saga, or at least to try out that first issue. And this supposedly has a lot of ramifications, a lot of big things happen in this issue, and you have the iconic Brooklyn Bridge on the cover. So what is going to happen to Miles? What's going to bring with this Clone Saga? Because I've tried this run out. It's been really hard to get into this run, and I really hope this is a good jumping on point, because I really miss Miles. I really miss the character, and I want to see really good stories from him. So moving on to Marauders issue 22, this is all after the Hellfire Gala. So it looks like finally they're going back to basics with this series of trying to go up against Sebastian Shaw and dealing with the Hellfire Club's past. So I'm hoping there's a lot of ramifications after Hellfire Gala. I mean, the whole entire Gala span out of Marauders, so if any title is going to have ramifications or an aftermath with it, it should be Marauders, and I'm really hoping so with this next issue. Moving on to Avengers issue 46, and this ties into the Free Comic Book Day book that's coming out in August, and we get to see World War She-Hulk is building, and I want to like Avengers. I've read issues here and there. I really did not like She-Hulk's voice. That was a big reason I dropped Avengers, and it looks like they're leaning towards that direction again of pretty much making She-Hulk Bruce Banner, which I've been disappointed with because Jen is not Hulk. She's not the two-worded character, and I hate that they kind of went back to that, especially after Mariko Tamaki's run, which dealt with her PTSD, so I don't know why that whole entire run was ignored, and now we're back to Civil War II post-She-Hulk. So we'll see where this goes. I don't know if I'll be picking this one up, but obviously it's a big one, and we'll see what happens with She-Hulk and why it's called World War She-Hulk and why they're copying an event again. Alright, moving on to Captain Marvel issue 30. This is a double-sized issue because it's an anniversary issue. I've been really liking Captain Marvel, and I've been curious about this magic run, this magic arc, and what's that gonna do to Carol. And I've enjoyed this arc, and seeing something different with Carol has been very nice. So we'll see if there's any big moments in this anniversary issue. Moving on to Fantastic Four, speaking of big moments, this is the aftermath or the last part of the wedding, the Doctor Doom wedding. Supposedly everything changes here, and there's going to be a big aftermath. And I've been enjoying Fantastic Four. I think it's been a very solid read. It usually doesn't make my top 5, but it's always in the middle of my list. And this hopefully will definitely rejuvenate the series with a big event like Doctor Doom's wedding and seeing what that's going to do for the rest of the family. Moving on to Black Widow issue 9, it looks like things are really hitting the fan in San Francisco. I'm so excited for next week, where we're going to get the newest arc for Black Widow, seeing what direction this is going in. But the reason I reference this is because they mention a protege in this. So is Black Widow getting her own sidekick? What's going to lead her to that? And what's going to lead to her supported cast now that her family is gone? And what emotions are we going to get with that? And like I said, who is going to surround Black Widow now that she's starting this new chapter in her life? Moving on to just a book I honestly want to recommend, and that's America Chavez, Made in the USA issue 4. It's a penultimate issue of America Chavez, a book that really came to a surprise for me and really developed the character more than any other series has thus far. So if you wanted more from this character, definitely pick this up. It's new reader friendly and a really cool character work series thus far. I'm really excited to see how it ends. Now, last but not least, we got my favorite book on the stands, which is Runaways issue 37. And this is all building up to Runaways issue 100. I really hope this series doesn't end at that point. I need more Runaways. And this one we get to see the new Gert, the old Gert, who knows which Gert, the second Gert, come back. And it seems like she's rustling some feathers. Something's going to happen with her in this issue. The cover is so good. I love the cover. And I just love this book. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see where it goes. And like I said, where issue 100 is going to go and what's going to hit the fan. So those are the books I'm most looking forward to or most interested to talk about for the video. Let me know in the comments below what are some books you're excited for from the Marvel Solicits. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. Of course, I'll also do the same video for this for the DC Solicits when those are out. Thank you guys. This is Comic Unknown. Definitely follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Go like this video, subscribe, comment on this video. It really helps the channel. Go check out my comics like Father Like Daughter and They Call Her the Dancer. And every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time is Comic Book Weekly, where we discuss our favorite comics and comic book news. Thanks, guys. Bye.